Hi Melanie, so I thought I'd come back today and show you some of the design ideas we came up with from the last time that we spoke. You gave me your ideas for your living room space. So I thought I'd show you some of the designs that I've come up with.
Right.
Okay, now this is our inspiration page, so this isn't the final design, this is just to give you an idea of the overall feel of the space. So from your brief, you mentioned that you wanted to keep it easy to clean, very functional, but also to be attractive. I think that's really important. So I've brought you some samples to have a wee look at today. First of all, we've got the flooring sample, which this is engineered oak flooring, which you already have, but this is obviously just to keep it up to date because it's been down for quite a long time. But also that's a much lighter colour than the one that you've got, which I think will really brighten up the space a lot. And then you also mentioned you wanted to keep your leather sofas, not the ones that you've got obviously, but you wanted to keep them as leather, but add maybe a corner sofa in so that it's much more, the space is much more functional for entertaining. You open up that corner of the room so much more. I've also brought you a little leather sample here. Now this is called aniline leather. It's really soft.
Yeah.
It's quite nice to sit on, but it is also wipeable, which is really important for when you've got the dog and the children around. Now in terms of the colour scheme, you've got a very vibrant lime green.
Yes, we have, yes.
And you mentioned you liked the green idea because it's quite calm, but I thought we could maybe tone it down a little bit and go with something a little bit more natural. So I've included some really nice sage greens here. Now this is a Ticarilla paint, it's vinyl, so it's acrylic, sorry. It's really easy to clean and it's really hard wearing.
Oh, that's good.
So that's really good. And then this is also, it's the same type of paint, but it's just a slightly different colour. To look at it on the paper it looks white, but it's actually got a really very subtle green hint to it. Which is really nice. I think that'll keep everything nice and bright, but also really calming and fit in with the whole country aesthetic that we're going for. Now, we also mentioned you liked floor length curtains because it keeps the heat in and it frames the windows really nicely. So I've got a wee curtain sample here. It's a really thick, nice material, which you can also get lined as well. But because you mentioned you don't like blinds, I think it would be really nice to tie both ends of the room together because they're such big windows, with a nice, really thick, heavy set of curtains. Moving on to your textures. Now, you mentioned you don't like bold patterns, so I've tried to include textures that feel really luxurious for your cushions, but are not bold. So this is a green velvet. It feels really nice, but because it's quite plain, I've added a contrasting texture with a really nice wool, just so that they complement each other, but they both feel like the wool's a lot more rustic, but the velvet's obviously nice and luxurious, so it gives you a really luxurious feel for the whole space. And also, your Mr. Gullen specifically requested the Eames lounger, which he's been wanting for years.
Yes, he has.
Now, because we've got the tan leather, I've added the example in here of the Eames lounger with the black leather and the walnut base, so that they're not fighting for attention, but they complement each other really nicely. There's also, you mentioned you like to hang family photos.
I do.
So I've included a picture ledge here, which is really good because you can just prop your photos onto it. You don't have to screw them into the wall, and you can move them around however you like, which is really good because if you decide that you want to change the layout a wee bit, it's really easy. You just literally take one off and replace it with another one of different shapes and sizes, adds a whole other sort of dimension. Now, you've got a log burning stove at the moment, so you've got baskets full of logs and kindling and paper and etc. But what I thought we could do is I've put together a wee design here for a unit to contain it all in one space. Now it would have we would source a natural edge piece of wood for the top, which would be really nice to keep in with the rustic look. But also everything's contained in baskets underneath, so you can put it away and forget about it. And also above So that would be in the corner of the room where your television is just now.
Right, yes.
So I thought maybe we could mount the television on the wall so that it's just one clean space, and then the top of the unit is completely free for whatever you want to put on it.
More photos.
More photos. So I'll just show you, now this is a rough rendered drawing just to give you an idea of the layout of what your living room will look like. So here's your sofa in this big corner here, and then you've got your TV and your TV unit, and then your rocking chair, which you're obviously keeping,
Yeah.
and then obviously your bookshelf, which you're keeping, and your coffee table as well, and then the Eames lounger as well. So you get a rough idea of where everything will be in terms of space of how much space you'll have left in your room. So is there anything that I've left out? Do you have any questions that you need me to answer?
I'm quite interested by the picture shelf.
Yeah, I'll just go back up to that.
Where that would be going.
So if we, in fact, I'll just show you in the render here. So your sofa's in this corner.
Yeah.
Your picture shelf would be above the sofa.
Ah, right. Okay, that makes sense.
So that it's not fighting for attention on the other wall where the fireplace is.
Okay.
You want it to be able to, all your pictures to be able to be displayed but without them looking messy. So, yep, that's where that'll go. Do you feel like the brief has been met? Do you feel like it ties in with overall feel that you were going for?
I definitely like the colours, very subtle and warm, and I do like the idea of the shelf very much because I feel that it's very cluttered at the moment, so that will keep everything in order. So yes, that generally sounds pretty good.
Okay, good. Well, I'm glad you like it, and if you have any more questions, just let me know.
Do.